Hello everyone. Just making a new video today just to discuss a new trade that I took out this morning. I've actually shorted the Aussie USD pair, Forex pair. I just wanted to discuss why I've taken the trade and why I was also very reluctant to. And I'm going to also discuss why I went with a smaller trade sizing than usual. Well, first off, I actually wasn't planning on trading the Aussie dollar for the time being. But I woke up this morning, checked the markets just after the London Open, and I just found that the price overnight had actually come into this zone that I'd marked out previously. But this is the futures, the Australian dollar futures. Now, but the thing is for some reason, it was just on the Aussie dollar we got this movement. As you can see here on the euro, the daily chart. No, British pound actually moved downwards with the British pound. Canadian dollar, yeah, we got a little bit of a move upwards with the Canadian dollar. The yen, not so much. The New Zealand dollar, no. And the Swiss franc, no. Yeah, so when I saw that the Aussie dollar had moved into this zone that I'd marked out, I was thinking, well, I already have a trade open at the moment, which is the USD CHF. Now with the USD CHF, like as you probably already know, followers, people familiar with prop challenges, is I've only got a 10% drawdown before I fail the challenge. Now with the USD CHF, I've already got 2% of that 10% drawdown limit on this trade. So I've got a lot of exposure on the USD at this moment in time, but I just felt like I couldn't really. Maybe it's over trading, but I did feel like I just couldn't pass up on this opportunity to jump in on this trade. So what I actually did was, is I just went, instead of going the usual 2% sizing, which would be $2,000, I've just shortened it down to 1,000. So it's not quite as large as what I would like, but I was just thinking 4% is way too much exposure on the USD. Also probably 3% is, but maybe I'm over trading, but I've jumped in. So what I did was I saw that the price that arrived in this zone on the Australian dollar futures. So I just simply just jumped over to the AUD USD Forex pair, and I got marked out my zone, which is just here. And like I've mentioned on previous videos, this is my stop loss level, which is just what I tend to do is it's just whatever the size of the zone is that I mark out, this will be 33% of that size. So just give me a bit of a buffer if it just pierce through this zone. So yeah, so what I do tend to do as well, just let me go back onto the futures, is wrong one, AUD. Yeah, I will always look at the weekly chart as like the big brother to the daily chart, and I'll just say, well, do we have a zone? I like to be covered by a weekly zone also, and as it happens, we are covered. So that to me is a valid, we got a zone on the weekly, which is perfect. And then it's covered by the daily. So that for me is a very good level. As we can see on the daily, yeah, on the weekly, we have a nice explosive candle on the downside, leaving the zone, and then we go into the daily, and again we have a big decisive candle. Like maybe that's explosive, decisive, but we have a lot of follow through. So that to me is a great zone, and as I've already mentioned, I am expecting the USD to start showing a lot of strength now, and against the other currencies. So this for me was a no-brainer, although it does feel like I'm overtraining slightly. As it stands, this trade, which I took around 3 hours ago now, I'm up so far about what, 17%, which is 170 US dollars. So fingers crossed that works out well. Now I just want to touch on the USD CHF trade that's been open now for, when did I open that? I opened that on the 21st, 8 days ago. This is actually $2,000 on this trade. At the moment I'm just hovering around the 300 floating profit. It's just up and down, so we're just waiting for the break, to the upside or the downside. Fingers crossed it's to the upside. Briefly, I just want to mention also my sugar trade. It's not going very well. I'm actually trying to pick up on a reversal here, which is always tricky. I'm hoping for this. I've placed a trade for a reversal. At this moment in time, it's not looking very well. As you can see, I bought in on the 14.60 mark. I have a stop loss set at $13.45, and right now it's still coming down. So yeah, that's not going so well, but it is what it is. And also, I've had absolute nightmare with the heat and oil trade. Yesterday, the FTMO was confirmed on live chat FTMO that I use a position size calculator to size my trades, and it was confirmed on live chat that it doesn't work for heat and oil. So I went way too big lot size, and yeah, so I got burnt a little bit yesterday. Pulled out, got out. I couldn't find no online calculators that covers heat and oil. So I actually got the help from Grok AI, and again I think that hasn't done a proper job. As you can see, I jumped on heat and oil yesterday. I planned on putting a $2,000 risk on that trade, and I'm pretty sure it's wrong. Grok's done me wrong here. It's just barely moving, $3.80. So at some point today I'm going to sit down and try and get to the bottom of this problem and really figure out once and for all how to size all these instruments without the use of the faulty FTMO calculator. So yeah, anybody who does watch this video, do you feel like that I am overtrading? I feel like I am. Right now I've got 4 trades open, which is quite a lot, and also I've got 3%. I've got what, a large portion of my 10% loss limit right now running on the USD. So I do feel like I'm overtrading, but the way I'm feeling, what I'm thinking about it is I just want to pass this challenge as soon as possible. I fancy the USD to make it, show some strength. Oh, also one more thing, sorry. One of the reasons why I did like the look of the AUD USD thing is, look at this gap here. I've never mentioned that, sorry. Is this gap here an open gap? So what tends to happen, well can happen, is that these gaps here in the price action tend to act like magnets. So at some point this price is going to come down and fill this gap. Now what I'm hoping is it's going to be sooner rather than later. We're going to come right down right now instead of continuing upwards. So yeah, just bear that in mind. These gaps can, and hopefully will in this instance, act like a magnet. Now I'm just going to end the video there. I don't want to go on for too long. Peace out. Take it easy, everybody. Bye.